I actually like the idea of maybe opening this with a question, even though we have a lot to do. So I think I'm just going to ask a question anyway. What is your favorite post on the forum this week? And any reason why? And I'm going to pass to, let's see, Juan Carlos. What's your favorite post on the forum this week?
Okay, Tam. Um, well, I think that the 75% governance give back is my favorite post. I think that I am glad that like I took the responsibility of stewarding that topic because I feel that it's a spiky topic, and yeah, I feel that I can try to um like promote that discussion um in a fair way, and I am also like digging into the different alternatives and talking with people, and yeah, I think it's very interesting. And I also I think that maybe it could have like more engagement, but I think that this is going to be something that still needs like a lot of research and a lot of like discussion. So yeah, I think that this is something that will continue becoming more and more interesting. I will pass to Santi.
Thank you, Juanca. I think all the discussion about the initial buying, I like how everyone is reading everyone's point of view and all the implications that that may take and what we are all thinking about. So I like all the discussion about that. I'll pass it to Nate.
Yeah, thank you, Santi. My favorite one is actually the change of addresses because, on the surface, it seemed like a very, very simple proposal. And, it's come to fruition that a lot of people have opinions on it. And so it's really cool. It's one of those things that kind of highlights the beauty of being in a flat organization where everybody has different opinions on things that you didn't think they would have different opinions on. So really cool, really beautiful, and I like it. So I'll pass it to Suga.
Okay. Can I say this? Can I choose the weekly update? I'm not a narcissist. I'm just being a little bit boring. I'm going to choose the weekly update. Okay.
It's a great post.
Pass it. Yeah. Oh dear.
Someone's complaining on the back.
Yeah, I have to agree with Santi, actually. I really like the debate on what we should use the funds that we can buy into the bonding curve with. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of opportunity there, and there's a lot of open-endedness to it, and so seeing other people's opinions is really interesting. And I'll pass it to Chewy.
Thanks for, sorry, what's the question again, Tam?
It's what's your favorite post on the forum this week?
Oh, I really like for the TEC tokens for people that lost their addresses. Like I didn't like agree at first, but it made me like come out of my comfort zone, like to be able to address it. And I like the experience, and also I really like how Septi replied. Like it really made me like see like that other perspective, and yeah, I just like feel good with like what it represented for the debate. And I'll pass it to you, Tam, because I don't know who already went.
Cool. Zep, you up?
Yeah. My favorite, even if it's the reward system. Like, I know, like, we need to try to see how we can improve or not, because right now it's improvement, but we have to experiment with them. But it's exciting, right? Like, how we reward our community. and make it a system where it's sustainable. Yeah, that's exciting. I pass it to Durgadas.
I've been on vacation. I know nothing.
We know that's not true. The opening question is, what's your favorite post on the forum this week? And you can pass if you don't have one, but if you do, please share.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever read the forum. So I don't have any helpful thing to say. Thanks.
Cool. I think, Eduardo, you're the second to last to go then.
Thank you. I will go. I have two options. The first one is the initial buy into the bundling curve, because I feel that now, we are getting to this point where we can have this conversation about. Like, I feel that now the things are real and are true, so we can start thinking forward. That's something that's kind of post brings me, like, give me this idea that the things are moving forward, and there's people thinking on moving forward and thinking on possibilities and chance. And this is something that is really promising for me. It's like really incentive. And then the other one, just because of the fun of it, it's just these names, Tau voting and token freeze and token thaw. The name sounds like a kid's name, like Tau, and it sounds like the name in Spanish is onomatopeya. I don't know the translation to that, which is basically phonetic sounds. And I found there's a really catchy kind of thing to put names to params, which are usually tedious and boring. So yeah, that's why I like those two. Back to you, Tam.
Cool. I would also say my favorite is the initial buy into the bonding curve, because it's so vast. It's like an unexplored territory. It's also a little scary, actually, because there's too much. We got to zone it in so we could like actually do something. But I give special mention to the post on the augmented bonding curve from the params team. So I think, Nate, you might have published that one. That one definitely gets special mentions. Hey, Bado, welcome to the TEC Sprint Retrospective. Just want to say that we see that you're here, and we're glad you're here, and you're welcome. Okay. All right. So I think we should just jump into the board now. As always, every single time I see this, I just say, thank you, heavens, for making Ivy the human that she is and taking care of this every week, because it's a little piece of work, but done so meticulously every week. I'm going to start our timer for, let's see, 5 minutes and we could start to, first of all, is everyone in the board already? And does anyone need access?
Let me see, I'm having issues. Let me see if I can get in.
Okay, because I'm not seeing too many other people in here. Okay.
Okay.
I see that we didn't use the board too much this sprint, just sort of myself included in this, and it's something we could bring up in our sprint planning, but maybe also I'll bring that up in our what we could do better. All right, I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. And Wonka, would you mind being our good vibes upbeat DJ for this hour?
Oh, hey, that brings up, no, we can. So I added the rhythm bot, and the rhythm bot uses exclamation point instead of hyphen. Otherwise, it works basically the same.
Can you drop the link?
What?
Yeah, I'll drop the link in the stewards channel now. Nice, excellent.
I'm trying to type, but I can't. I double click on a.
How do we control volume?
Oh, no, I can't. Thank you.
Same way.
Cool. All right, so the timer has started for what went well. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and jump in the board with everyone. Okay. So maybe Wonka, would you read for us everything that we feel like went well in this past sprint?
Okay, Tam. Okay. Snapshot is ready. Great engagement on the forum. Forum engagement is growing. The momentum still feels very high. Multiple initiatives are moving ahead quickly. TEC brand is an all-time high. Params, oh my fucking god. Amazing governance work hitting the ground running. The proposals on the forum for advice process are sparkling insightful decisions. Tremendous process with our documentation. Comes down and progression and growth with all of our working groups. Education is becoming a normal practice. Having conversations about next steps. Livia enjoying herself on the Brazilian waterfalls. New contributors have been very active. Chuy is bold. Attitude change after holidays. Livia in vacations. We have rhythm. Backups for people taking days off. Brazilian ninjas killing it. There are many new people I haven't met yet. Yet I see them active on our Discord. Proposals in the forum. Communities growing so fast. Hatched DAO proposals. Didn't miss a beat by Groovy. Twitter engagement is upticking. Participation in the Crypto Commons gathering. Evie, David, and Chuy are rocking with Twitter. Params look so cool. TC is the talk of the CCG. Coms proposed the first DAOification of a working group and turn it into a document, a proposal. Coms drafted a proposal, getting back in the swing, new music bot, and the Graviton training coming.
I'm just going to add a few that were missed. Chewy is Brad Pitt was one of probably my favorite ones on this board. Legitimacy, Twitter as a means of education via the Params effort. Love the polycentric governance. The weekly updates is such an easy way for people not in the deep to quickly eyeball what's happening in the TEC, and it's still going so strong. New working group coming together. Transparency is killing it. Breakthrough ideas. Cool. All right. Normally we take 2 minutes to go round robin and share how we feel about things that are going well, maybe anything in particular that you feel you want to point out. And I'll pass to Chuy to kick us off. And I'll set a timer for 2 minutes.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, I think that we're like entering a new stage and adapting pretty quickly. I'm particularly excited about the new contributors and community. Like I agree, especially with the one that says that people, like new people, are active in our Discord, and we really haven't get to met them all. So that's something new, definitely, and I feel that it's going to be really good. I pass it to Santi.
Thank you, Chuy. I like the way things are evolving. It's like this discussion about the amount of TEC being bought. As Eduardo said, it brings you really, it makes you see that we're already there. We already have funds. This is real. This is moving forward. The amount of people joining is also another metric that shows us that we are growing. I can't wait till we launch, and I can first proposals that we are presented with. That's to me, that's gonna make the final circle closing. So I'm really anxious to reach that point. I'll pass it to Juan Carlos.
Yeah, I am happy that I have seen a lot of interest around Gravity and around the Graviton training from diverse communities. And we have like 30 people in the registry. So yeah, I really hope that we can make a great course. And like I am always learning about Gravity, and like right now I feel that it's important to plant this seed of talking about conflict management in different communities. And I am seeing it like more of a reality than ever. And I will pass to Septimus.
Juan. Yeah, I mean, this sprint is going good. Like, I really love like the engagement on the forum. It's growing, and yeah, it's being fun to do politics with all the crew, all the DAO, and I feel like it's going to go more and more and more. So yeah, being super fun, and also super excited about the params. They're looking so good. The designs are amazing. I read tell it like I don't know how many times, but it looks much better than the hatch. And there is a lot more of params too, so it's going to be super fun. And yeah, I can't wait. And I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, same, man. Blown away with what Vitor and the crew are all hacking on together right now. I'm seeing pull requests like mad. The cadence is going to be really cool. Obviously happy about Dewey's Brad Pittness. I think I was like, who does he look like? I was like, is it Vin Diesel? No, it's not Vin Diesel. It's Brad, of course. And in general, I just think the vibes are really high. I'm feeling good vibes in the community. It hasn't been on this kind of a nice wavelength since the praise debates. So it feels like things are coming back together and chill and fun. So yeah, and we're just pushing on all fronts, and everything seems to be advancing really well. I was worried that this would be like this middle time, we don't have money yet, but there's money there. But it seems like the money has really brought legitimacy to the project, and people are really looking at us, and it feels like we're trendsetters, So that feels really good. It feels super cool, and yeah. And I'll pass it to. Who didn't Durgadas? You didn't go.
Hi there. So what was the question? I'm sorry.
It's just when Juan Carlos read through the things that we feel like went well this sprint, reaction, how you feel about the things that went sprint. Is there one in particular you want to?
Yeah, I'm not informed enough to have an opinion about that. Thank you.
Pass it to Nate.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. There's an interesting moment at the beginning of the sprint where I felt like we were all, we were just funded and we have all of this open direction. Like we're entering this wilderness of like anything is possible for anybody. And so there's this moment of hesitation where I was like, oh man, what are we doing now? And are we going to get lost in this? But everybody has really kind of taken that agency. And like, I do think this was like an important sprint that we just went through where people are just saying, okay, I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to run with it and we're going to just go and do it. And so you're seeing that with comms and gravity in particular, where you're just like, awesome job, guys. Like you've really pushing the boundaries of it and really setting the example and setting the tone, which is really cool. So I'll pass it back to you, Tim.
And Suga, is it good for you to speak?
Thanks. Yeah, I feel like this last sprint has been an uptick in the rhythm and the momentum, and it's like we're moving along exactly as planned, and that's super exciting with the commons upgrade. Like the momentum towards that feels really great. And also what Chewy said, and I think somebody else, about the new contributors, that we're seeing a lot more, or I think Juanca also said it, like a lot more folks participating, and that's been great. And for myself in particular, a lot more organization around getting that momentum with new contributors organized, and that's been exciting. So back to you.
And Eduardo, you're up next.
Thank you. I think it's the Shui haircut and Livy's vacations. I think it just brings me joy to see people doing things for themselves and taking their time for themselves. And I think that leads to that kind of freedom, leads to the high participation that we're having now, like sort of the validation that Griff mentioned, plus the sense of, my work will be validated here, or I can contribute here in any form or shape. I think that culture that we have sort of slowly built it up has taken the shape of freedom for people to do things and try out things and propose things and see where it takes to. And I think that's something we should encourage. And I think source credit and all these things, reward system will help to sort of even better. So back to you, Tom.
Cool. And my quick thoughts are, mosquito, it's tormenting me. I love how things go from things that are so, light around, I don't know, like Chewy's great haircut and having rhythm to really substantial, like education is becoming part of our norm, and TEC's being well represented at the Crypto Commons gathering. And yeah. I feel like we have a lot of momentum this sprint. I feel like we have a lot of momentum now. I think it's actually just like there's a summer slump, people sort of go and like take vacations and move around and things like don't fall into places easily. But now it's like we're all back here, like we're all here in our little boxes again. So I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes and we'll do what we could have done better. And I'll probably turn the music up for myself while we're waiting through these 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm fighting with the bot. I tried to skip one song and thinking that it was going to play the next one in the queue, but it just like play like random related songs, but I don't know how to like resume. So yeah, please help with that.
I'll jump in there.
All right. Santi, would you want to read the what we can do better?
Sure. Okay. Advice process could have much more engagement. Working group equals working group communications. Discuss about treasury management before Hatch to leverage the opportunity. Timeline, dates, what happened next feels very vague to me. I have a general idea, but nothing that can be shared yet. Provide better processes around proposal, impact, stakeholder identification. The initial buy ideas on the forum are in need of champions to formulate specific proposals. Some may be a hard sell to the wider community. Make sure builders also get swap. New projects are engaging and looking for services. Do we know what to do with them? Do we all have different ideas on how the advice process works? There is a specific need for Hatcher relations that fits in many different working groups and not one specifically. Better time management, have more debate around how working groups will be funded, general operations discussion. More forum engagement, active in working group activities in ComCall slides for weekly update. Common swarm development is dicey. Brett's ABC review delayed till next week, so no work on technical feasibility of quick and dirty solution till next week. Besides comms, there is no proposals even draft from other working groups. No estimates for when the upgrade will happen. Search for developers, development support is slow. More education around voting types and when to use which one. And we have to be extra careful on our decisions. We don't want to create a bureaucracy skin in the game.
So there's so many I think I actually have questions about, but maybe they'll come up in our reflections. I'll set a timer for 1 minute, and if you have something you really want to convey to the rest of the stewards, please take a little more time than that if you need. Maybe I'll pass to Nate if you want to share your reflection on one particular or more than one of these.
So I feel like the one that I really think we can do a little better on is the advice process. I know that we like how it's going, but I do feel like we all have different kind of ideas of how it works. And so, and maybe that's something that we want to keep that way, kind of this kind of fluid, not codified process where we just say, hey, I'm looking for advice on this, and people just emerge to provide that advice. Or if there should be a more, codified process for that. I see some people who are going through the advice process and maybe they're getting what they want and maybe they're not. And so, what they execute on is based off of what I wouldn't call like a pretty solidified advice process. But that's the one important thing that I think is really something to address. But yeah, I'll pass that on to Suka.
Thanks. I might agree with that and maybe just extend it a little bit to one of the concerns about more participation on the forum. And I guess, I don't know, maybe there's a couple of them that overlap where they ask, like the one that I put about working groups to be more active about their activities in the community call slides for the weekly update. So just some gestures of collective participation for things like advice process and the forum and little things like that, like the community call. I think that when there was the call to action some months ago about weekly posts in the forum, there's certain things like that that are kind of hard to implement, but I guess somehow those kinds of things are super important, but I don't really have any, method how that could be implemented. And that's all I have to say. I will pass to Chewy.
Thanks, Katie. I don't have much to add. I just wanted to bring something up about the advice process and just in general the engagement in the forum issues. I was just reading something that I hadn't realized about, but SourceGrid is already like collecting some information from Discord. So just keep this in mind, because I think that it might help if we see it like from that side, so that we can at least once per week participate in something. And also advice process. I also feel that it's one of the most constructive areas in which we can participate. So yeah, I feel that we could all make an effort. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good, a nice set of proposals or a nice set of comments here. So I guess I should say, like, Brett is the code reviewer of the ABC, and having the delay on figuring out which technical solution is feasible is like kind of annoying. But at the same time, I'm still a little concerned about the I really like the comment someone said we have to be careful not to be too bureaucratic. And I think that they meant it more about like making participation require a lot of time and effort to make things happen. But when I saw that, I also thought, like, you know, I think we don't want to micromanage as a DAO, and like I really hope that we can, you know, signal our preference on whether or not to do the 75% without even having a technical solution, and trust the solution that can be implemented. It'd be kind of like funding a comms team and telling them to run our Twitter, and then telling them like exactly how to run the Twitter. And it's like, you got to just let people, let the you know, the people who are in it every day kind of decide these things. And you just have to be really careful not to be deciding too much through consensus and from the center, and really try to delegate more of the decisions through to the people. And also this comes with advice process as well. I think the advice process, like, I think we might be measuring engagement too much with like comments or something, because like engagement is also just reading it. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have this awareness of advice process, but at the same time, you know, if the advice process still means that you can do what you want, you just have to tell other people about it and hear their feedback. And I feel like advice process is about listening more than anything, and really timing, right? Like, don't decide what you're going to do until you get advice about it. So don't commit yourself, don't get attached to the direction until you have heard feedback on not your solution, but like the problem and the opportunities to solve it. Eduardo, did you go?
No, I did not. Thank you, Griff. Comment on this. I think these conversations are necessary. I think there is this, again, and I'm sorry if I repeat myself too much. There is a technical concern, and there is a lot of effort put in the technical side on the parts regarding funding, the part regarding the params, regarding this stuff. And I would just always try to push, again, the human part, this part of understanding who is behind the engagement, what is the person behind the engagement, how we can interact with that person, how we can make the engagement more organic, how we can facilitate the interactions in between humans that will do contributions to the TEC, rather than facilitate contributors contribute. For me, it's a different approach. So I think, yeah, just a run. I just put a lot of ranting out there. So sorry for that. Back to you, Tom.
And I'll pass to Santi.
Thank you, Tam. My reflection is not so much on this sprint, but on how things are evolving. We are growing, and we were so focused on the hatch and reaching the minimum level that we forgot that we have a bunch of money there that we could be using to get some profits. And now we are all discussing all this, which is great. And the same probably happens with the development. We are growing, and there's several areas where we are not covered if someone leaves or someone stepped away or someone has a problem and cannot be pushing. So I think maybe some of us should sit down and analyze the overall project and see where's the risky areas that we gotta be aware of and maybe have a backup solution if possible, or at least have a plan to do it as quick as possible. And think about those for the next, not this is the first one. Of course, we are learning a lot, but at least, make sure that we have everything clear for the following, for following DAOs. Because it's to me, it's a little pity that we are not leveraging with all that money out there, sitting there doing nothing. Okay, and it's something that we could have talked before. And the same with development. We could have thought of, having a backup or someone, in the radar before we're experimenting issues because we need help. That's it. I'll pass it to Juan Carlos.
Cool. Can I just say, in the interest of us finishing with some time to discuss the actions to improve, can we keep them short unless there's something you feel really strongly passionate about?
I will keep mine short, and I will talk about more education around voting types and when to use which one. I feel that right now with Snapshot we have like different options of voting, and like each type of voting can give different answers. So it should be important to like talk about when are we going to use which ones, and like for which purposes are the best use of each tool. Yeah, and I will pass to Nate.
Is Optimus.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, Juan, on transparency, we're going to take this task. Nate raised it that we should, there's a need in there, and maybe we also going to collab with Livy, but we will do a work session next Monday, so maybe you want to join. And one of my biggest concern is like turn this down into a bureaucracy. And for example, like we have stewards to coordinate working groups, and someone was suggesting to create a new working group. And as Griff was saying, I think we need to let people do, and be decentralized. Like, and for example, for the treasury, I was thinking maybe having a forum section where people do proposals, something like that. I mean, I want to do some research on how other DAOs does it, but I feel it's very important to let everyone, like, depends, like people can vote depending the token they have. So, and at the end of the day, it's a collective decision. So I'll pass it to Tam.
Cool. I will say there's 3 things keeping me up at night: timelines, opportunity costs, and a dev team that is not going to be here, that we need to replace with some urgency. So if I'm awake at night, I'm thinking about one of those 3 things. But let's move on to, and to be more specific, the opportunity costs are now essentially we have this opportunity to have a favorably priced token that we can use for many different reasons, and that opportunity can happen at one specific time and probably not again later. We hope, actually, because we'd like the token to be very successful. Shall we move to could do better? Just skip the voting and brainstorm on things that could be better. We have 4 minutes. And you can use any of these that have been identified: advice process, the working group's communication, better time management, which maybe I should take into consideration for this retrospective.
I love this song.
I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement on the board. So maybe we just get started with reading them. And if you have more to add them towards the bottom. Griff, do you want to read the actions that might help us improve this sprint?
Sure. I guess, yeah. Add seshbot sesh.fyi to Discord for easier calendar event creation and advice process for smaller decisions via polling. Everyone should make the effort to participate at least once per week in the forum. Hack soft timelines together and work from there to refine as new info emerges. More hands in TEC Scouts to help with proposal development, initial project funding. Fill out working group needs form by Suga. I filled it out. Griff is working, or at least I filled out it's just a Google Doc, right?
I didn't make that. I didn't make that. FYI.
Griff is going to meet with the two main dev teams using Aragon in person next month, or this month. Bogdoni in Barcelona and OneHive in Denver at mcon.fun. Working group funding template that can't be used by multiple working groups. Smaller groups for these sprint events or longer duration. Sorry, we're running out of time here. Party in Denver and worry less. mcon.fun, September 14th to 18th. Steward sessions of some kind for funding topic. Create some deadlines for first drafts of working group proposals. And is there more? No, that's it.
Nope, that's it. And we're going to vote at the same time we go round robin around this. So please take your 2 votes and pick one particular issue instead of a group. And I'm going to start the round robin, even though we'll run out of time. But I'd love to hear, maybe we start with Chewy, your thoughts.
I don't have anything specific to add. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to start. Chewy led the effort here. I think it'd be really cool to see what other people are thinking, like some initial drafts, and I would love to see that form in this is the time to get ahead of the game and have something figured out. Yeah, and I was thinking about it, and it's like, if there was ever a problem, we have such good vibes and friendships with so many teams that I think that we wouldn't have a problem with the Aragon dev stuff, at least for emergencies. For development, that's another story. I'll pass it to Santi.
I have nothing to add, really. I'll just pass it to Juan Carlos.
I like the idea of making a template for multiple working groups because, personally, I have been working on how to fund Gravity, and I have like a lot of ideas, but I need to ground them and to have some advice process on that, and I think that would be great. I will pass to Eduardo.
Thank you, Juanca. Yeah, I think the proposal part is necessary. I think we need some common ground on that. I think Stuart, the suggestion of a Stuart session to facilitate a template creation for these kind of things will be necessary, and it's highly interesting. And yeah, I think that's it. So pass it to Nate.
Thank you, Eduardo. I'm gonna go ahead and shill the sesh bot since I wrote it after watching another DAO use it within their Discord. I think there's especially the polling. You can create polls so like little decisions that don't necessarily require the advice process, but maybe you're not sure if it impacts anybody, or maybe there's questions that things that you didn't think of. Like, this is a really good way to actually just say, hey, I'm doing this, and if anybody has any objections to it, they can immediately say no, red flag, and you can address it from there. So I do think that's a really good vehicle for doing it, and it allows you to create calendar events. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that and pass it on to Tam.
Well, I'll say it wasn't my idea, but the steward session for some kind of funding topic is one that I really think should just happen in the sprint, frankly, because I think all of us have had it on our sprint board, at least I have, and haven't made it a priority. I just love the party in Denver. I think that's definitely making it into the sprint. Yeah, I think it's important because I think that when we put our heads together, we can come up with something better than if we're each individually working on it alone. And frankly, I think that using our collective intelligence is probably the way to get at least some sort of foundational version that we can maybe create into a template, or other people can, fork off that. And I'll pass to Suga.
I'll agree to that real quick, and I'm glad you brought it up because I just wanted to make sure it was understood. I'm typing on a tablet, so it was a bit wonky. Funding for working groups, obviously. So I think everybody got it. Okay, who do I pass to? Tam.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, I pretty much agree a lot with what Tam was saying. Maybe doing a Stuart working session or something to make the funding for working groups would be beneficial, so we have all the brains together. And I'm really happy Griff is meeting a lot of devs. Yeah, back to you, Tam.
Oh goodness, well, we managed to squeeze this just in under an hour. Unbelievable. I can't believe that just happened, actually. You guys are amazing. I think we have, everyone should make an effort to participate at least once in the forum. Griff is going whether or not this one makes it into the next sprint, and the party more, worry less. Can I just say that it should be the sprint's name? So party more, worry less, I think she'll be what we all call the next sprint. And thanks for sharing this time with me today and being so awesome, all of you.